I'd now like to welcome Mary Faraone, the Chair of TAFE Directors Australia, which is the peak body for TAFE colleges in Australia. As Australian delegates will know, the TAFE network is the largest and most diverse tertiary education network in Australia. Mary Faraone is also the Chief Executive Officer of the Holmes Glen Institute, which is located here in Melbourne. It's now widely recognised as a leader in non-university higher education delivery. Mary is a member of the Victorian Ministerial Roundtable for International Education. Please make her welcome to the stage.
Thanks, Lee, for that introduction, and thanks again to that wonderful welcome to country. I too wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past and present. I would also like to acknowledge the Honourable Gail Tierney, Minister for Training and Skills here in Victoria, the World Federation of Colleges and Polytechnic board members, TAFE Directors Australia board members, senior representatives from Australian and international governments, CEOs, presidents and directors of TAFE institutes, polytechnics, colleges and institutions, our many international guests from all corners of the globe, and our Australian TAFE staff, delegates, presenters, sponsors and exhibitors, and a special welcome to our 36 young leaders who we met just before. On behalf of the Board of TAFE Directors Australia and all my TAFE colleagues around Australia, I warmly welcome you to Melbourne, which on a glorious day such as today is surely back to being the #1 most livable city in the world. As you know, we recently lost the #1 position to Vienna. However, we proudly sit at #2. Perhaps begrudgingly we sit at #2. As Lee said, TAFE Directors Australia is the national peak body for TAFEs around Australia. And at this time of the year, we normally hold our annual conference. This year, we are pleased to incorporate our event with the World Federation of Colleges and Polytechnics Biannual Congress. Craig Robertson, CEO of TAFE Directors Australia and the current chair of the WFCP, together with the small secretariat of TAFE Directors Australia, have put together this exciting program, and I would like to publicly acknowledge Craig, Jen Bayan, Ron Jackson and Andre Dereur for their commitment and passion in ensuring the Congress is a success, and I would like you to please give them a round of applause. Thank you. The Congress, aptly titled Preparing for the Skills Future Now, will highlight 140 speakers and 44 concurrent sessions. We are thrilled to have 775 registered delegates from 32 countries, 36 students participating at the Young Leaders Camp from 9 countries. It is a great opportunity to network, meet new people and rekindle friendships. I am particularly pleased to see so many of our TAFE colleagues here, together with industry representatives and government representatives, and particular thanks to our Victorian Government for their sponsorship and support. Australia has a federated system for vocational education and training, so the structures and funding are managed by the states and territories. However, we are all regulated by a national body, and the federal government establishes policies in relation to student loan schemes and other national initiatives that impact on all providers in the country. This is similar in many other countries around the world. So, whilst we may have different regulation, structures and funding, we share a mission to provide technical, vocational and professional applied education and training to new entrants to the workforce, those returning to the workforce, and to those already in the workforce. Our institutions are a key part of the social fabric of the local community through skill development, industry engagement, workforce development, and participation in education and training. Another key part of our mission is to work in local communities and regions to foster social inclusion and social cohesion. There are 3 times more people enrolled in some form of vet training here in Australia than in universities, and TAFEs deliver a quarter of all that vocational education and training. So we have an extremely important role in the economy and the well-being of our countries. Many country representatives here at the Congress are experiencing skill shortages, as we are here in Australia. In Victoria, there is an unprecedented infrastructure boom, and the challenge is finding the right people with the skills, upskilling and reskilling workers, and simply attracting the number of workers needed in the next 5 to 10 years to complete the projects. On top of this is the impact Industry 4.0 will have on all of our lives and workplaces. I was in Singapore last week at a similarly themed conference about preparing for the skills future. One of these speakers raised the issue that whilst we have overqualified people in jobs and for job vacancies, no one ever complains about over-skilled people. And in fact, this is what many employers are looking for, skills over qualifications. Whilst this may be a simplification of the problem, it could be a way to look at how we model our delivery for the future. If education and skills could be delivered in a scaffolding framework, the distinction between provider type may be blurred, with a matrix of higher education, technical, vocational and professional education all available for packaging. The Singapore conference raised a number of challenges for us in the sector, which will resonate with the Congress presentations over the next 2 days. Firstly, the need to connect, partner and collaborate with industry, not only at the macro level, but at the micro level. Secondly, how do we, as providers, ensure that we have the workforce capability and capacity to meet the challenges of skilling future generations in a digitalised world? Thirdly, how we reset the agenda for TVET and applied education to ensure it resonates with parents, students, industry and the community. I was at a session yesterday with the Leadership Institute discussing the perception of the sector. We need to find models that redefine what we do rather than engage in a cultural war with universities, and to ensure all students make the right choice, not a second choice. Fourthly, there is a danger that if we do not respond to the world of work and the skills future, many providers in the sector could become residual. However, there are also great examples around the world of TAFEs, colleges and polytechnics responding innovatively to the skills future, and many of these are being showcased during the conference. TAFE institutes in Australia have a long history of connecting with industry. They have also shown themselves to be resilient and adaptable to changing policies and environments, as I am sure is the case across the world. We are fortunate to have so many leading global thinkers and leading practitioners with us at the Congress. I urge you to fully engage in the Congress. It is a great opportunity to reflect, learn and share ideas about how we, as a community of dedicated and passionate advocates, respond to the skills future now. I hope you enjoy the visits to the Victorian TAFEs, the Congress speakers and sessions, and the interaction that a Congress like this provides. I would like to thank all our generous sponsors and our official Congress education partners, the Victorian Government, represented through TAFE Victoria. And I'd also like to thank my TAFE colleagues who have opened their campuses and provided staff and students to work with TAFE Directors Australia on the Congress. Let us all be prepared for the skills future now. Enjoy the Congress and enjoy Melbourne. Thank you.